All right, I'm back with an addendum. I couldn't sleep. I was bothered. Um, I was bothered by the fact that I gave up so easily on things that I was dissatisfied with in that gorilla mix. And, some of it justified. And it's a pain in the ass dealing with, Adobe. And, but I found a way around it. And serendipitously discovered a couple of other things along the way that I would like to share with you. In the interest of keeping this reasonably short, I'm going to undertake the following operations to make the corrections that I desire to make to the music video, to the mix, and subsequently to the music video. And I'm going to do something that's going to make the sound markedly better. So let's begin. I'm going to do the first operation. I'm not going to go back and do everything all over again. I'm going to show you what I've done and how I've done it. And then I'm going to hit pause and do some things that I need to do to prepare for the next operation. And hopefully in that way I can keep this reasonably short. But I really learned something tonight. It's a good thing I was tossing and turning and bothered by this. So here we go. Okay, so I'm just assuming that you didn't watch the final mix wrap up for Gorilla in the Corner of the Room. So I was bothered by some clicks that were occurring at the outset of the song, the audio in the video. And I isolated some of the clicks to the transition of this gong intro, where we have a snippet from the gong audio track, one of the gong audio tracks, a snippet that I cut and reversed here at the beginning of the song. And then that leads into an unreversed gong sound that, as you can see from the volume drawing line, fades out as the intro section comes to a close. And right here where the reversed gong sound hit the unreversed gong sound, there was a nasty clicking sound. And I was unwilling to go back and correct it and, make that correction in the video because, long story short, I used Adobe Express to make the video, and I was unable to export the video for like 5 days. It was like 5 days before Adobe Express allowed me to export and download the video. I didn't want to have to go through all that again just to correct the audio. But again, I found a workaround. So now I'm correcting the audio issues. And the way I did that was, originally track 2 and track 3 were one track. And there was a little bit of a gap between these two clips. And it was that gap, among a couple of other little things, that was causing the clicking to occur. And what I have done to rectify that is that I duplicated the intro gong track. Okay, and I deleted this clip from the duplicated track, and I deleted this clip from the original track. And I moved them closer to, I moved this one to the right so that they overlap just a tiny bit. And then I did what's called a destructive fade out to this one and a destructive fade in to this one. Meaning destructive means that it's a fade out that's applied to the actual audio signal in the clip. So if we hear this solo right here, let me see from the beginning. Okay, it's very quick at the end, but it fades out to zero without an audible click. Solo this one here, and there is a little bit of an attack there, but it's not a click. Okay, and then when I play them together, you can hear the faintest of clicks, but it's really the attack on this forward gong sample. It's not a click, it's really the attack of the transient, which is not a problem when I unsolo these and we listen to the entire mix. Okay, that clicking issue has now been taken care of. It's now gone. As for the clicks that were present in the gorilla voice here, which is track 1, solo that. For whatever reason, I still don't know why in the Final Mix recap video, I laid the blame on Adobe Express for somehow getting the clicks in there. But I gotta come clean about that. It wasn't Adobe Express. I don't know what it was. What I'm gonna do here now is open. Let's see. I do need to sleep. Okay, let's see. Gorilla building a song master. This is, this is a final mix down. Okay, some final touches that I did, final mastering touches that I did. And I dialed this up, and indeed, when I hit play, there are the clicks in the Gorilla intro. I don't know where they came from. They're not coming from anything that I did in this project file. And I'm really not in the mood or even very much inclined to go down that rabbit hole and find out how it happened. Instead, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Control X and get rid of that. I'm going to go back to, Window. I'm going to go back to my my Final Mix project file. And now that I've got this sorted out, whoops, I got the Gorilla solo there. So no clicks. No clicks. It could be possible that I imported the wrong mix down into the final mastering project file. I don't know. But here's what I'm going to do. It's possible that I made that mistake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this final mix. I'm going to do a mix down. And I'm going to do it in such a way, I'm going to save it to the desktop so that I can't possibly get it mixed up with the wrong file, with the wrong mix down. So there could be no mistake. And then I'm going to import that into the final mastering project file. And I'm going to show you a couple of new tricks that I learned. All right, so I'm going to pause this video, do the mix down, and I will be back. All right. By the way, it occurs to me that I don't think I've ever done this. I've never shown you how to do a mix down. Here's how to do a mix down. Click the number 1 on track 1. Scroll down to the final track, in this case, track 33. Shift and click again. Now all tracks are selected, and you see the green band along the ruler at the top. It starts at the very beginning. You see where it ends right here. It generally ends at the final drawing node. I guess that's what that's called. Volume drawing node. That's where it's ending. Sometimes just to be sure, because there can be some trail off from delays and other effects. There can be some trail off that I want to, I don't want that to be cut off. So just in case, what I'll do is I'll drag this over a little extra like that. And if that's just silent space in the final mix down, I can just get rid of it. Okay. So anyway, this is how to do a mix down of everything. Now I'm going to go into File, Export, Audio. I'm mixing down to Wave, this Wave file. Right here is where I select my file name and mix down location. Just so I'm not going to get this mixed up with other Wave mix downs, for my location, I'm going to select Desktop. Well, I already did this before. Gorilla in the corner of the room, master for video. I guess I already had this bright idea. Somehow, though, those clicks crept in. Somehow they still happened. So here's what I'm going to do. Deleting this. All right. And there it is. There's the file name. Gorilla in the corner of the room, master for video. And save. That's where it's going. That's going to be the name of it. File type MP3, source category, entire mix, and hit export. Oh, wait a minute. It's set for MP3. Hang on. Wave. Didn't it say Wave? Maddening sometimes. All right. Wave. Dithering Power 3. Just if you see the option for dithering, choose Power 3. Power 3. All right. Now, export. It is going to, all right, export. Now you can see up here, it's mixing down. This is going to take a few minutes. Now I'm going to pause it and I'll be back. Okay, I ran into an issue with the mix down. This happens occasionally with Cakewalk. I'm not sure why, but sometimes you do a mix down and there'll be an explosion of noise at the very beginning of it when you go to listen to the mixed down wave file. When that happens, I'll generally close out of Cakewalk, and in some cases, I'll restart the computer. In this case, I'm not doing a computer restart because I'm in the middle of this video, but I did close Cakewalk and reopen it. And I decided while I'm at all this, I might as well clean up that snare sound. So that's what I've done. And not just clean it up, but just make it sit nicer in the mix and everything else. So just a couple of things that I've done is in the percussion strip, the compressor in the percussion strip, also the compressor in the vocal strip, they're not particularly nice. I don't often use them for whatever reason. I had the compression stage on in this percussion strip. I clicked it off and I did adjust the expander. I'm using it as a gate, and I adjusted the cutoff on the gate. The other thing I did was I added a plate reverb from Air Windows Consolidated, that plugin suite. And so it's sounding a lot better to me. And now I'm going to attempt the mix down again. So pause it again and back in a flash. All right, well, this has gone on quite a bit longer than I had thought it would, but that's kind of par for the course. Try as I might, I can't seem to entirely get rid of those clicks. It's something that Cakewalk is doing in the mixdown process. I'm not sure why. I've tried to get to the bottom of it, and I'm out of ideas. So, although I wish I could, figure it out, at some point you just got to cry uncle. Okay, so, but I did mix it down. The clicks that were happening because of that gap between those intro gong tracks, those are gone. And so I've got it loaded into my my final mastering file here. And so I'm going to use a trick in Cakewalk. I didn't know Cakewalk had this feature, this function, this capability, but I am able to swap out the audio in the music video without having to go back to Adobe Express and potentially wait for several days before I can re-export the video project. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to talk about a few final touches that I added here in the effects rack. You see the three of them are from the Air Windows Consolidated suite. And I think they really bring something to the party here. So first, I'm going to, before I even play it back, I'm going to import video. All right. I never even thought to try this until tonight. And lo and behold, import video. And let me see, libraries, videos, my music vids, and let me see, there it is, right there. There's the one I uploaded. As you can see, up here at the top, we now have the video track. It says video thumbnails are currently hidden. I guess there's a way to unhide them. I don't really care about that right now. What I care about is here below, there's appeared at track 2. That is the audio track from that video. This is the audio that I want to replace, the audio that I want to swap out. Well, this is new audio track isn't what I want to swap. Okay, swap in, swap out, whatever. I'm going to go now to track 2 and right click and delete track. And there, I've done it. I've got the new audio track in with the video. And all I have to do now is re-export it as video. Export video. And I'm going to choose MPEG-4 video. And okay, so I titled this one Girl in the Corner of the Room 2 Tape 6. I'll explain why I called it that in a minute. But, well, I guess I'm going to call it Reloaded. That's a better name. Okay. And that's it. Save. Now you can see it is mixing down the audio. And that'll just take a few seconds here. In the meantime, well, okay, so there's actually not enough time to talk about these plugins that I'm using here, again, as a final touch. But, okay, 3 Air Windows plugins, a console emulator, a tape machine emulator, and a vinyl emulator. Lots of emulators, lots of emulation going on. But these are not your normal emulators. This is Air Windows Consolidated guy. This is Chris. I think he's an MIT guy. And I got the idea to do this when, as I was trying to get myself to sleep, I went to my YouTube feed, and lo and behold, there's Chris, Air Windows Chris, talking about his latest plugin offering, free, 2 Tape 7. And man, this guy is such a trip. Can't understand the details of most of what he's saying, but he's showing you in real time what this thing does and all of its capabilities. And I realized, well, it sounds really good. I mean, fantastic. And I realized I have the previous iteration, 2 Tape 6, in my currently installed Air Windows Consolidated bundle, right? And so I thought, well, why not? I haven't even really scratched the surface of this stuff, to be honest. And I thought, well, let's go back and just give this another shot. And everything kind of came together. And yeah, I'm using his plugin, his tape machine emulator plugin. Not because I totally understand what it's doing, but I just think it makes it sound better, and that's what I always go with, is my ears, such as they are. But anyway, so let me show you what I've got going on here. So you might have noticed it mixed everything down to a new MP4. I tested this before I got back on this video to show you how to do it. It works fine. So there you have it. This is another thing you can do in Cakewalk, and probably in other DAWs as well. Okay, so I've got the Air Windows console bus. I've got that first in the chain. I think I'm going to leave it there. Next one is his 2-tape 6. And finally, through vinyl 14. Not going to go through the blurbs of all these right now. You can do that for yourself if you're interested. But it basically it just gives it gives a vinyl sound to the mix. It does something with the trebles, and I'm just finding that with this mix, especially some of the guitar textures, it's really just bringing them out in fine detail, as it were, without them being harsh or brittle in any way. I just really like what it's doing. And I'm making a call. I'm going to go with it. As long as I'm sort of wrapping this up anyway. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be happy with my decision. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and play through this from the beginning real quick. Again, there's a few clicks at the very beginning in the gorilla voice, but there's nothing that I know that can be done about it at this point. So I'm just going to have to live with it. But I'm just going to, I guess first I'll A/B enable, disable the entire effects rack. And then I'll A/B the plugins one by one. All right, so here we go. Okay, so no clicks at that transition. Much better. All right. So I just disabled the effects rack. I disabled all those plugins, and I'll enable it again. Listen right here. Right here. Now listen again. Disabled.
Well, I have had it up to here with all their fake ass laws.
Now I'm just going to start A/Bing them one by one.
Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly
It's a little bit louder to me in a grating way. That smooths it out. Tiny bit quieter, but smoother, and I like it. This is the tape machine. Back on. Off. Really brings up the bass frequencies in a pleasing way to me. The drums have more punch, the bass has more punch. And here's the vinyl. Off. On. Off. On. Ordinarily, I'm not a big fan of this vinyl simulator is, you could say it's kind of acting in a way as an exciter, but not. it's I'm real finicky about exciters. They can at first they can be deceptively pleasing. It's the kind of thing where you click it on and it brings a brightness and a clarity that at first can be quite pleasing. But then over the course of the entire track, and then the next day, and then the next, it wears on you. It starts to rub you the wrong way. But I just know I've listened to this front to back. I've spent some time while this was paused, trying to ascertain if that's the case with this plugin, and I believe that it's not. I think that, as I said, this guy's plugins are not your normal run-of-the-mill plugins, and this is doing something with the trebles. It's not an exciter. This is a different animal. And I think that I'm going to be pleased with it tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Just one more time, listen to it again. I'll start with the vinyl simulator off, and then I'll click it on.
Well, I have had it up to here with all their fake ass flaws. I am nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws, designed to chew up our perfections and spit them into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me.
Okay, here's a little bit of a test for this. When the vocal gets to that gorilla in the corner of the room, the word that, all right? If this vinyl simulator, if it causes irritation at that spot, okay, that'll be an indication that this might be a wrong turn. I've listened to this a few times, and I think it's okay.
Sleep pauses that gorilla in the corner of the room.
Here,
That gorilla
so that.
of the room.
Wait a minute.
That gorilla in the.
Right there.
That gorilla.
And here's with the vinyl simulator off.
That gorilla.
All right.
That gorilla.
I think it's okay.
Corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. That corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room.
It's got 4 knobs, and I tweaked them until I liked what I sounded. Which, by the way, this guy is a technical genius. But at the end of the day, he'll tell you, he'll say, listen to me and try to understand what this thing does. But at the end of the day, use your ears. I've listened to him quite a bit, and he does say that quite often. It's good to have a technical understanding of my plugins, but it's not necessary. Find the setting that you think works and that pleases you. So that's what I've done. And finally, all right. So those are Air Windows plugins, and I really, they're astonishing to me. And while I'm at it, I decided to try this. Sometimes I like this, sometimes I don't. I didn't think to try it when I did this final mastering stage before, but this ferric TDS. Okay, it's another kind of tape saturation emulator. It's quite useful. I normally use it as a limiter that does something extra. Okay, but I'm using a preset called Mix Glue, and sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. And in this case, I've decided that I think I like it. So I'll just A/B that real quick. As we'll start with that. Yeah. In the corner of the room. It's taming. It's taking slight burriness off of those trebles, smoothing them out just a little bit, and it is doing what, as the name of the preset implies, Mix Glue. It's just having, to me, it's having a cohesive effect on the mix as a whole. And one thing I notice here in this section is got dun da 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 dun da 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 da, that rhythm guitar part, which I made it intentionally subtle and not too loud. These plugins that I'm using here are together, and also the talk box guitars in the third verse and final chorus and outro. It's just bringing those parts into just a little bit more distinction. Making them just a little bit more distinct in a very pleasing way. Again, to me right now, very pleasing way. I hope I don't feel differently about it tomorrow, because I am going to upload this. I don't know if I'm going to, I may leave the, I'll have to think about that. I may leave the previous upload of this video right there. So that people can A/B them. I think that might be a good call. I'm just going to go ahead and listen for that dun da 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 dun da 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 da, that rhythm guitar part in this section. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to, again, A/B the entire effects rack and listen to that rhythm guitar part. Listen to how that changes. Yeah, not sure if it was right about the mix glue. Actually, I'm going to have to make a call here. There's always trade-offs. I like what the mix glue setting is doing for the base. I don't particularly like other things that it's doing now that I listen again. Anyway, I'm going to have to make a call on that. But anyway, this is how this is what I discovered tonight. This is how I got around the Adobe Express problem. I'm going to re-upload the video. I think it's going to sound better now. And yeah, I think I'll leave the old one there for purposes of comparison and transparency and all that. Okay, so enough. Gone on too long as usual. And it's about time to wrap this up and try to get some shut-eye. All right, that's it. I'll come back tomorrow probably with a short vid about probably do a vid about the pedal board, the tone box pedal board. All right. From lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea, over and out.